Hello, my name is Mike Anderson. I'm a licensed mortgage loan originator, and I'm also the president of Essential Mortgage. We are a Ladder Bloom Realtors company in the great state of Louisiana. And this is a message to consumers about how do you pick the right loan officer to help you with the biggest purchase of your life, and that is your home. You can't help but remember all the horror stories, everything you heard and read in the newspaper and television and the internet about the mortgage crisis and what took place. There were a lot of unscrupulous loan officers out there who worked for banks, credit unions, mortgage bankers, banks, mortgage brokers who really weren't above board, who really weren't ethical. They were in there to make a quick buck, and we know all about those stories. But how do you protect yourself as a consumer to make sure you're dealing with the right person? After all, you can't just go by a name of a mortgage company anymore, because there were a lot of bad players that worked for a lot of these big institutions and small institutions together. There's enough blame to go around for all of them. But there is a solution, and there has been some solutions adopted. Congress passed a law. It was called the SAFE Act. And in the SAFE Act requires a mortgage loan originator to be licensed. Now, there's two kinds of licenses. And let me explain both of them to you. It's extremely important that you know the difference. Let's just take a mortgage broker and let's take a mortgage banker. Those two entities have to do 20 hours of pre-licensing education. They have to take an extensive test, not only a federal state, but a state-specific test, which is pretty difficult. And there's been a lot of loan originators out there who have not passed that test and have had to take it again and again and again and keep studying. So it is a difficult test. The other thing they are required to do is to have a criminal background check. And that's a federal criminal background check. And if these two entities, if anyone has been convicted of a felony, which is basically fraud related, financially related, embezzlement and so forth, they will be banned from having a license ever. Okay, they will be banned for life. And this criminal background check doesn't go just back 7 years, it goes back from their lifetime. And now, the other thing they're required to do is do 10 hours of continuing education every single year. And they're also authorized a credit report to be run. Once they pass all of those criteria, then they are issued a license. And this license is they get a number. It's kind of like a Social Security number, and it's called the NMLS. I'm putting it right here, NMLS number, and it's a federal number that can be used in state to state. And you as a consumer can go on the NMLS website and you can check out this individual you're dealing with and make sure they're in good standing. Now, the bank loan officers and the credit union loan officers, they are not required to take a test. They are not required to do 20 hours of pre-licensing requirement. They are not required to do 10 hours of continuing education. What they're required to do is put their name on the federal registry. Okay, and they get a number as well. But it's important that you know the difference so you can see who is more qualified. The other thing that you want to check is check with your realtor. They know really good sources for loan officers too. They know the good ones and the bad ones out there. Another good thing to check is the loan originator you're going to deal with, are they a member? And ask them, are they a member of the National Trade Association? There's two very big trade associations out there. The first one is the Mortgage Bankers Association, been around for over 100 years. Mainly their members are the big mortgage bankers who are members. They have designations and so forth. Then there's NAMB, which is the Association of Mortgage Professionals. They've been around for 38 years, since 1973. With NAMB, they have designations, which you've got the Certified Residential Mortgage Specialist and the CMC, which is Certified Mortgage Consultant. To get those designations, you have to take continued education, more continued education than you're required, and you have to take a test. Pretty intensive test as well, consisting of about 200 questions. Once you pass that, then you get your designation. It's good for 3 years. There's not that many certified residential mortgage specialists in the United States of America. It's starting to grow because, after all, it takes extra work. Also, why is it important to deal with somebody who's a member of these trade associations? Because they seem to be a cut above the rest. They attend annual conventions, mid-year conventions. They do extra continuing education. They get involved in their community. And NAM particularly has a very unique designation, which is the Lending Integrity Seal. To get the Lending Integrity Seal, you have to, first of all, be licensed, meet all that criteria. You have to take extra ethics classes in addition to the federal related of 10 hours, so more classes. And you have to supply references, which the NAM board checks out thoroughly to make sure that they're in good standing. So those are very important aspects when you're looking for a loan officer to do the biggest purchase of anyone's lifetime. And so don't be afraid. Pick the right one. Just be careful. Don't just go click on the internet and get somebody that's 1,500 miles away and you don't know anything about them. But make sure and check to make sure they do have that license. And it is a number, and you can feel safe and secure that you're dealing with a qualified residential mortgage loan officer to help you with all your needs on the biggest purchase of your life. Thanks a lot. And you listen, you can also go to the NAM.org website right here, and you can click on your state, find a loan officer. You can click on your state and you can find a certified residential mortgage consultant, certified residential mortgage specialist in your area if you want to contact them to help you with your mortgage needs. Thanks a lot, and you all have a wonderful day.